Hello kids, let's do a workout. Orgasmicpathways.com, as the sign says. Choose your pathways. I've got tons of workouts, healthy recipes and so forth, but this is going to be based on a CrossFit. It's going to be an AMRAP, which stands for as many rounds as possible. And we're going to do that inside of 20 minutes. First, the warm-up. A lengthy warm-up because we are going to need it. This one is a butt kicker. Disclaimer, note of caution, I am not an expert. I'm a lay person. I love learning about health and wellness and sharing what I learn with all of you and what works for me and stories I've heard and so forth. So do your own due diligence, exercise caution, do what works for you and what is safe. I'm not sharing anything here to undermine any healthcare professional that you might be working with. So let's warm up. Anything cardio for about 2 minutes. You can jump rope, you can march in place, you can do jumping jacks, you can run in place, you can kick your legs out, just something to get your heart rate up. I'm gonna shuffle because I love shuffling. So I'm doing the running man. It's 2 minutes starting now, how about that? Some T-stepping, because why not? Take big full breaths. You're not just warming up, but you're oxygenating your blood too. The oxygen is the nutrients that gives you energy for what's to come. Another minute and a half here. Some Polly Pocket if you're into shuffling, or just keep running in place. Another minute. I'm doing a shuffling move I just learned called rocking. It's kind of difficult, but with practice I should get it. Another 30 seconds. What are you doing for your warm-up? What cardio activity are you doing? Who's shuffling with me? Okay, bring it down, shake it out, wiggle, shake. Okay, we're gonna do some more warm-ups to get our muscles ready now that our heart and lungs are into it. So first, I would like you to either grab a towel, let me do that real quick. Should have been prepared, I apologize. That took a second. Probably took you just a second too. You don't need a towel, but I'm gonna give you an option. So I'm gonna go to the pull-up bar and do pull-ups. If you have a pull-up bar, go for it. If you have no equipment, but maybe just a towel, you grab your towel, and I want you to hinge forward like this, keeping most of your weight in your heels, bend your knees, keep your back straight, pull the towel apart really hard, and just squeeze. Pull back like you're mimicking a pull-up and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Breathe, exhale, squeeze at the top. So I'm gonna do 10 pull-ups real quick. You do somewhere between 10 to 20. Do 20 of these because you're not using any body weight. Or if you don't have a towel, just pretend like you are and really squeeze, make the mind to muscle connection with your back muscles and just pull and work those muscles out, okay? So I'm going to do my thing, you do your thing for this particular warm-up exercise. back is all warm. Now we're gonna do 10 push-ups. 10 push-ups of any kind, I don't care. Whatever variation you're doing, knees on the floor, inclined. I'm just gonna do standard on the floor because the AMRAP is gonna be really hard. So if you struggle with push-ups for your warm-up, I recommend your knees. But whatever variation that you're doing, get up and plank, protract your shoulders, scoop your abs, protecting your lower back, shoot your heels to the floor, draw your kneecaps up towards your hips, keep your spine straight, and do 10. And 10. I'll wait for you if you're still going, no problem. Shake that out. Remember, we're still in the warm-up. All right, next is going to be a tricep dip. So there's a few ways you can do that. You can go on the floor, and we're just gonna do 10 of these also. Like so. Get into a glute bridge or a tabletop, whatever, and just sort of go down and then push up with your triceps. If you have a chair, you can also do that on a chair, like so. You do it with a leg in the air, do 5 and then 5, or if you want to go super advanced, I'm going to get 2 chairs. I'm going to do sort of an L sit where I'm up like this, and then I'll do my tricep dips that way. 10 of them, or I'll attempt to. This one's hard. But tricep dips are not going to be part of the main workout, so I don't mind doing this version extremely hard, or the push-ups I did not, because push-ups and pull-ups are going to be part of the main workout in the AMRAP. So 10 tricep dips if you're choosing. Let's go. Keep the elbows in, making the mental note for myself too, because they started to flare. Keeping the elbows in keeps the pressure on the triceps. That was hard. All right. Next is going to be glute bridges. The next warm-up exercise. So for this one, instead of a tricep dip, feet flat on the ground, knees bent, thrust your hips upward, squeezing your butt as much as you can. You can clasp your hands or keep them to your side and then back down. So we're gonna do 10 of those. On the exhale, you thrust up, squeeze at the top, pause for a second before coming back down. So 10, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze it. Okay, release. Right now. All right, now we're going to do little pulses in a squat. So with a squat, just come down into a squat. Keep your knees out. You don't want to let them come in because the knees are very unstable by nature. And they are hinge joints. They are only supposed to move in one plane of motion. Visualize keeping your mouth as far away from your butt as possible. About 80% of your weight in your heels. Don't let your knees go out past your toes. Do little pulses down here. Just for a little bit. just till it starts to burn and then come out, because we're going to be using these in the AMRAP. Then come up, thrusting the pelvis forward, and then back down. A few more pulses, and back up, thrust forward. Great. Okay, now we're going to lunge forward with our left. So just step forward. So your right leg is behind, left leg in front. Straighten out the back leg as much as you can. So it's like, this is valid with your knees bent, but we're not doing that today. Today we're going to try to keep the back leg straight, come as low as you can, scoop your abs, protect the lower back, shoulders and hips forward. If you're up here, perfectly fine. Just fight to keep your back leg straight. Come forward, back, forward, back. This is a toe roll isometric lunge. So you want to start with your knees above your ankles or even slightly behind your ankles, because you're going to be rolling forward and you don't want your knees to go out past your toes. So if you're like this, that's too much. So step back with your back foot. Go to ideally about the center of your foot, your front knee, and come out of that, come back up. Just doing a few to get used to that movement and to warm up those muscles, because that's a big part of the AMRAP here. So other side. Now my right leg is forward, left leg is back, straight back leg, bent knee over the ankle or a little behind the ankle. Now roll the toe, the back toe, squaring the hips and the shoulders forward, both shoulders, both hips forward. And make sure the knee is not going out past the toes, otherwise put your back foot back and come up and shake that out. So don't get tired right now. This is just the warm-up. Okay, one more warm-up exercise, and then we're going to go over this beautiful design here. All right, this is going to be something special for the core. Okay, so for this one, we're going to come down on our back, straighten the legs. We're going to roll up in a controlled motion, one vertebrae at a time on the exhale. Straighten the back at the top. As you come down, bring your straight legs up, or bent knees if you have to, and then be up like that. Try to reach your toes and back down, all as controlled as possible. That's one rep. Rep number 2, exhale. Great, so just do 10 of those. We got 8 more to go. Use your core as much as possible. I'm on number 4 now. Halfway there, starting number 6. Seven. The less you use gravity, then the more control you have, the more you're using your core. I think this is 8. 9. And 9. Last one, controlled. 10. Beautiful. And that entire time, draw your, remember this for next time, should have already made the note, but on movements like that, you want to draw your belly button into your spine, scooping your abs, like you're leaving an imprint of your lower spine in a sandbox. It's a good visual. Okay, now we're going to get started with this beautiful thing. Looks like it's showing up pretty legibly in the preview, so that makes me happy. Sip your water. Definitely have water around you for this. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust this. the AMRAP. 20-minute AMRAP. As many rounds as possible. So here's a round. There's 4 exercises. 4 pull-ups, 8 push-ups, 12 squats, 24 toe roll, isometric lunges. So the pull-ups, if you don't have a pull-up bar or you can't do pull-ups yet, you can do assisted pull-ups. If you have a pull-up bar, you got a chair, use your feet to help. If you have no equipment, you can grab a towel, do what I already showed you, just do this. You can also come down on your knees. Where's my towel? Ah, here it is. Or stand and go strictly overhead, behind your head, and squeeze your shoulder blades together as much as you can. Or do it standing. But you want to create as much tension as you can, pulling apart that towel, squeezing and really pausing for a second or two at the bottom here. Just because you don't have a pull-up bar doesn't mean you can't work out these muscles. And if you don't have a towel, well, of course you have a towel, so just grab one. But if you don't want to use one, just mimic the same thing and really focus on making a mind to muscle connection, and you can really light those muscles up, okay? So 4 pull-ups, whatever variation you want to use. I'm going to use strict form pull-ups with a pronated grip, a little wider than shoulder distance on an actual pull-up bar that mounts in my door. All right, so push-ups. Like I was showing you on the floor just now, make sure your shoulders are protracted. Do not retract them, protract them. If that means you have to regress to progress, fine. Drop to your knees, whatever variation you got to do so that your shoulders are protracted, your abs are scooped, protecting your lower back, your knees you're drawing up towards your hips to make sure everything is engaged, and you're shooting your heels back down towards the floor, and avoid forward head tilts. Just look straight ahead, a little at a diagonal, but don't, do this. Keep your spinal column straight. Okay. So whatever push-up you want to do, kick your feet up. I've got the chair here. I'm actually going to start my push-up sequence on the wall. I'm going to place my feet on the wall. It's a very hard variation of a push-up. I'm going to attempt that on the first round. I'm sure by the second round, third round, who knows, I will be dropping down to the floor, or I'll put my feet on a chair and do incline. Just because you start at one place, it doesn't mean you have to stay there, and do what works for you throughout, okay? I'm planning on breaking my body down. So where I start is not where I'm going to end up, that's for sure. So 4 pull-ups, 8 push-ups, and then right after that, 12 squats. You can do a squat of your choosing. Keep your feet narrow, keep them wide apart. You can do jump squats like this. You can do jump squats with a knee tuck like this. Whatever you want to do, or just stay on the floor. Squats, remember, keep the knees out so they're not buckled in. Keep your face, your mouth as far apart from your butt as possible. Go for 90-degree knee flexion if you can. Come back up, thrusting your pelvis forward, not locking your knees, but straightening them, and then back down. Either prayer hands, potato squat. If you want to put your arms in the air, make it more challenging on your diaphragm, you can do that too. Or with open arms like this, that's fine. But you're going to do 12 squats. And then 24 toe roll isometric lunges. And that's what I showed you in the warm-up. You're basically getting into a lunge, but with a very straight back leg. I'm gonna put this back down now, so I can show you this one more time. So with a very straight, or as straight as possible back leg, heel shooting towards the floor. If you're up here, that's fine. Just fight over time to get down. And remember, when you're rolling forward, make sure your knee isn't going out past your toes. If that means you gotta kick your leg back more, so be it. You might start with your knee slightly behind your ankle, but then when you go forward, it's maybe about halfway over your foot at the most. You're gonna do 24 total, 12 on each side. So when you do 12 on one side, turn around and do 12 on the other side. Chair over here so it's out of the way. And in another minute, we're gonna start. So the reason why we're waiting a period of time between the warm-up and actually doing this is because you're gonna need your energy. This is tough. So there's no rests except for the rests that you absolutely have to take because you just physically can't do anymore. Then take a breath or two, not too long, come back in. As you show up and you do this regularly, you will find you're taking fewer rests, you're moving more efficiently, more rapidly inside your safety, fewer rests, shorter rests, and ultimately doing more rounds. So as you're doing this, after you complete each round, 4 exercises is 1 round, write down a little tally mark on a sheet of paper or something like that. Again, I should have been prepared. I totally forgot to do that. So let's see, I got something I can write on right here. Excellent. So I'm gonna do little tally marks in this little thing right here. The pen works, awesome. This is my little write down station right here. So you got a breath to make a tally mark. And then at the end, you'll know how many that you did, and that will be your established benchmark that you compete against yourself with to try to do better next time. Sip of water, we're gonna get started in like another half a minute. Get my stopwatch going. Very good. 20 minutes. No rests except for the ones that you absolutely have to take. And get started with the pull-ups, and then push-ups, squats, and then toe roll isometric lunges. All right, I'm going to my pull-up bar. You go to your thing. Okay. This one is a butt kicker. We're gonna start in about 10 seconds, so get ready. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, let me run back, 2, 1, 20 minutes, go. All right, remember to pace yourself. It's 20 minutes, no breaks. 8 push-ups. All right, on the wall. I might have another round doing that on the wall. I don't know. We'll see. 12 squats. I'm going to start with jump squats. Here goes. Toe row iso lunges. All right, a little over a minute in so far. Here we go. That's 12. Switching sides. All right, so 1 tally mark, right back into it. Pull-ups, oh my goodness. We're about 2 minutes in now. Push-ups on the wall. Okay. 12 squats. 'Toe roll Other side. Oh, it's 2 rounds. What round are you on? 3.5 minutes. Push-ups. Oh boy. Squats. I'll do a side view this time. Toe rolls. Start on my right this time. Instead of my left, vary it up. Whew. Five minutes in, 25% of the way done. Oh my goodness. 3 rounds for me. All right, apparently I'm breaking, not for very long. Pull-ups. Break's over. Okay. Push-ups. Oh, my feet are slipping. Other side. Wow, that's 4. We are a little over 7 minutes in. Whew. These jump squats is what's killing me. All right, here we go. See my back facing you this time. Variety. 4. Gotta remember to land like a cat on those. I'm so fatigued. It's hard. This one also, don't let your knee buckle in. You want to be able to see your big toe still when you're doing those isometric lunges. That's 5 rounds for me. Oh, a short break for me. Not for you, no breaks. All right, I'm done, break's over. Whew. See, even I have to breath once in a while. Push-ups. Minutes, halfway, a little over halfway. Whew. Only halfway, or we're already halfway. Oh. 6 rounds. What round are you on? Okay. A breath or two, break's over. Break's over. I gotta get in as many rounds as I can. As many rounds as possible, AMRAP. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Break's over. Get to work, Tom. Oh, wow. 12 minutes. Oh, wow. Getting very hard. Gotta run back. I kind of get as many in as I can. Oh, wow. diagonal view. Oh, wow. Eight. Stopped running, maybe because I'm so freaking tired. I stopped running. There we go. Whoops. It's my first time coming out. So what I did, I got back in and finished. It happens, I'm fatigued. Squats. These AMRAPs, man, wow. "16 minutes, only 4 minutes to go." Ow. 9 for me. Run back. We're almost done. Finish strong. Run. Run, Forrest. Run. See if I come out this time. Almost. I did it. Squats. Toe roll. Iso lunges. Side. All right. 10 for me. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. You got another round? Into my push-ups. My feet have to go a little higher, otherwise I can't do these anymore. Three more. I came out fatigued. Barely, oh my God. Okay. Now these butt kicking jump squats. Oh, ow. 1 minute. Finish strong. Just 30 seconds. Not even going to write it down this time. I remember. I'm going to get in as much as I can. How many of these can I do? Time. Let's go 11. Wow. So march, walk. My sky rate, heart rate is sky high. So bring it down, don't just stop. That's too hard on the heart. Adjust this. Don't disappear. We got to do some cool down stuff. And some stretches. After we're worked out, everything is warm. That's when you can make the most gains in your flexibility and your mobility. So just keep on walking, marching in place. I'll march in place with you. Little twists, shaking out the arms, kicking out the legs like this. Just letting gravity do the work. Like I'm not holding anything statically anymore, which requires muscles. I'm just letting things sort of fall now, letting gravity work for us. Speaking of that, throw your arms up and let gravity take it down and swing. Arms up. Let gravity do its thing. Little huggers like this. Very useful. And a cool down after exhausting yourself. Another minute here cooling down. And let's do some much needed stretches. Remember, don't go anywhere just because the workout is done. We want to maximize the benefits of that workout. Right now, recovery is the name of the game, because the better and more efficient you recover, the faster you can come back into a workout like that. The faster your gains are going to be, your improvements in your overall fitness is going to be. Just better, more quickly. So right now, recovery is the name of the game. During the workout, hard work is the name of the game. Okay, cool. So let's do some stretches now. All right. So to start with, right arm by your side, feet about hip distance apart. Lightly draw your kneecaps upward, but don't strain. We're cooling down still. Abs scooped, pelvis parallel to the floor, protecting your low back, core slightly engaged. Left arm down, right arm sweep up overhead. And get a nice side stretch, keeping your shoulders and your hips forward. So you're stretching down the whole side of your body. And you can gaze up into the crease of your elbow. Other side, right arm down, left arm up. Gazing into the crease of your elbow. All right. We're going to start with stretching out the upper body. So right arm in front, cross your body, hook onto it with your left arm and pull it in. You can still step forward and backward because it feels good. Okay, now arm up overhead. I'll turn my back towards you. I want you to reach behind, bring your hand down as much as you can. With your left hand, put it over your right elbow and try to push down deeper. And if you can take your left hand and reach around also and see if you can clasp on to your right hand, like I'm showing right now. And bring your head up, look straight ahead. I can only do this on this side. For some reason, my other side I can't. My other side is not even close, but it is what it is. We oftentimes have a side that's stronger or more flexible than the other. And then release, shake it. Now the other side. Left arm, you're going to be stretching. Right arm, wrap around it, pull in. Step forward and backward if you'd like. Okay, reach up with your left, down the center of your back. Pull onto it, onto your elbow with your right hand. And if you can, clasp. You'll see I'm not even close on this side. That's it. It's pretty bad. But I do the best I can on each side, and so will you. Okay, release. One last thing for upper body, then we're gonna get to the much needed lower body. Hands on front, palms up. On the inhale, open your chest and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Get down into a squat, a shallow squat, or deep, up to you. Just take it easy right here because we're cooling down. Ready? Inhale. One more. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, now, before we go to the lower body, hands down to your side on an inhale. With straight arms, scrape an imaginary wall behind you on the inhale. Go. Exhale. Okay, now the lower body. I want you to forward fold. Feet about hip distance apart. Come down all the way down. Bend the back, round the shoulders as deep as you can. On your next inhale, inhale up to flat back. Then exhale down again. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Now this time, I want you to bend your knees, like you see me doing here. Bring your chest to your thighs. Make contact if you can. Hug around your hamstrings with your arms. On your next exhale, keeping your chest to your thighs, straighten your knees. Ready? And this should help you go deeper. Pretty neat little trick, hey? You can go back into it if you want. I am. Oh, that's so good. Wow, that's nice. Okay, so now we're going to get on the floor. I'm going to point this down so I can be closer to you while on the floor. That should do it. All right, now we're going to go into a quadricep stretch. So on your knees like this, toes can either be tucked or feet pointed. I'm going to point my feet. You can open your knees a little, just toy with that, and go back. Now avoid hyperextending your back. Keep your abs scooped. You won't be able to go back as far, but you're going to stretch out your quadriceps more. I can go about this low, elbows just about touching the floor until my back starts bending. So then I stop. This is it until my quadriceps get more flexible. And breathe. Big inhales so you get big exhales, because on the exhale is where you make the gains. So you want big inhales to get those bigger exhales and bigger gains. All right, come out of that. All right, now. All right, we're going to go one more quad stretch because this one is so good. But basically, repeat the one we just did, or my left knee is out in front of me. I'm sitting on my left foot. My back leg is straight back. I'm going to do my best to keep my hips and my shoulders both squared forward instead of opening up and twisting like this. Keep hips and shoulders forward. Knee to the ground, so my leg also is not opening up, and the top of my foot to the ground, my back right foot. Then I'm going to reach back with my right hand to my foot. I'm going to try to go over the top of it. If you have to reach around to one of the sides, fine. If you can go over the top, even better. And I'm going to pull it in, my heel all the way in to my butt. And if I can, I'm going to start to sit upright. And maybe reach around with my other hand, so now both hands are grabbing my foot. My heel is back into my butt. Shoulders, hips squared forward. And try to bring my body as upright as I possibly can. I'm forward a little bit, but I'm pretty close. I've come a long way with this move, believe me. And so will you if you do it every day. Oh, that feels good. Okay, now, keeping everything where it's at, we're going to bring that front left foot out, and we're going to go into pigeon. So squaring hips to the floor, the knee to the floor, the top of the back foot to the floor, and my front left foot out to the side as much as possible, and then sink into that. Bring your upper body to the floor if you want. If you want a little bit more, you can reach your upper body diagonally to the left, the outside of that left thigh, and reach. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, come back up. It's good to stay in that one for a little while. All right, now switch sides. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so the right leg is in front. I'm sitting on my right foot. Go for more of a side view this time around. Shoulders and hips forward. Back left knee and top of left foot on the ground. Now I'm gonna flex that back left knee, bringing the foot up, reaching with my left hand over the top of that left foot, pulling it in, squaring my shoulders back to the floor or to the front. Now I'm gonna try to sit upright and reach with my other hand. This side is more difficult for me. Got it. My heel is on my left butt cheek. Now I'm going to try to bring my body upright. Man, I have massive improvements with this move right here. Even this time doing it is significantly better than it was last time I did this, which was just the other day. Oh, that's so good. Makes me happy. And you'll be happy too when you notice improvements, because you show up every day knowing you put in the work for it. Makes you feel very good and motivated. Okay, now release. Same thing, keep everything where it's at. Top of the back left foot and left knee stays on the ground. Shoulders, hips forward. Bring that right front foot out to the side as much as you can. Being careful of your front knee. If it's causing discomfort for your front knee, then just don't go as deep into this, or don't do it at all. Just be careful of that. And then release yourself back into it. And sink your upper body into the floor if you wish. Go out to the right side. Cross your thigh if you want a bigger stretch. Another breath. Okay, come up. Oh, that's so good. Now both feet out in front of you. Reach up, straight back, and then exhale forward. Just go as far as you can. Try to envision pulling your chest towards your thigh, your chest towards your feet, so that you're rounding the back as little as possible and hinging forward as much as possible. Therefore, stretching out your hamstrings more. I've got my whole palms on the bottom of my feet and the underside of my wrists, so that's pretty cool for me. Considering my history of inflexibility, especially in the posterior chain of my body, this for me is excellent. Okay, release. Now, we're going to do a quick downward facing dog, followed by puppy or extended puppy or something like that. So for this, downward dog stretches everything, lower body, upper body. So all fours like this, hips and knees flexed about 90 degrees, hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, just come straight up without moving your hands or feet. Point your butt upward as much as possible, straighten your arms, straighten your legs as much as possible. You can slightly bend your knees if you want. It's more important that your arms are straight than your legs. But if you can straighten your legs along with your arms while pointing your butt skyward, awesome. Also, elevate your shoulders as much as possible. Don't let your shoulders sink. Come back down onto all fours. Now for puppy dog, okay, you can either go into a child pose like this, which is fine, or go back up on all fours. Keep your knees and your hips where they're at, but push your hands forward slowly in a controlled way. This is a much bigger shoulder stretch. Forehead all the way onto the floor. To me, this feels so good. I love this one. All right, back up on all fours. One last downward facing dog and make it really, really good. All right. That concludes today's workout. Thanks so much for being here. That is your 20-minute AMRAP CrossFit based workout without requiring any equipment, but that option is there, obviously. Thanks so much for being here. Drink your water. Orgasmicpathways.com. Choose your pathways. Tons of healthy recipes. shake mix stuff, lots of other workouts, tons of them. Yes. I think I was posing for my thumbnail preview, which will go up on YouTube. And subscribe to my YouTube. That helps me a lot so I can keep giving you this, guys, for free, never having to charge you, but YouTube still pays me based on ad impressions from the subscriptions that I get and engagement comments. So drop your comment. What was your favorite move of those 4 exercises? And also if you got a favorite stretch, and if you'd like to see me cover something specific, drop it in the comments. That helps me out too. Bye for now, everybody. Mwah.